In this video, we'll be looking at the dollar index, and the whole essence is that we want to determine what price is going to be doing today in the forex market, in the likes of Euro USD, British Pound USD, Aussie Dollar USD, Gold, S&P 500, BTC, DXY, US 30, and all other price actions out there, UX oil, etc, etc. With that said, guys, we do everyday daily bias analysis here on this channel. Okay, right on your screen is actually a drawing that we added on this chart that was on Monday, the start of this week. All right, so in order to give you more context, I would like you guys to watch this. This was the video we pulled out on Monday, the beginning of this week. All right, so I'm going to play this, and I want to point out at the point where we speculated that
now, and I'm of the opinion that we are getting to the point where we will see a very beautiful manipulation downwards, which I am of the opinion that we are close to it, or maybe already started making the move. All right, so something like this where price trades out of that accumulation or sideways movement, as you might consider it to be. And of course, this is an ideal move to expect here on 4-hour time frame. If you see anything like this, trust me, I'll go on it like my life depends on it. Okay,
all right, so this was on Monday at the time we made this video, and right on the screen is the 4-hour accumulation which we spotted. And for the guys that have been following my channel, they already know how we got to it. So let's head back to the chart. So this is it here, and I'm going to explain. All right, so the accumulation from the 4-hour is the green rectangular line. I hope you guys can see it, or if you guys can't see it, I'm just going to increase the border width so that it will be more thick so you guys can see it. I'll make it very bold. So you see the bold green guy there, that's actually from the 4-hour time frame. Okay, that's the accumulation there. And remember, I told you guys on Monday at the time price was trading at that low, I said price is going to, of course, manipulate down, and after that manipulation downwards, price is going to go back to fill up all that accumulation. All right, and I also pointed out we had an opening week gap at the time we started the week, and I pointed out that once you see the accumulation downwards, price would get to that gap, get rejected, then again price will find its way back up. And of course, as you guys can see, this is what the price has done throughout the whole week. We saw price come up, okay, came back down, then went into that gap. So this orange rectangular line you see here is the opening week gap. And for the guys that are following the content that I make here every day, I pointed out that if there is any resistance, we should expect it in that gap. And you can see when price got to the middle of that gap, which is around there, you see how price got rejected initially, which pulled us a little bit back down here. Price came down again, formed a daily gap here around this area here, and you see how price later reversed back, and of course you see how price has finally filled up that gap. Mind you, we had this call on Monday, and I pointed out, I said this week expect DXY to buy. As a matter of fact, not only this week, I'm actually even expecting DXY to continue buying throughout this year. I think I have a video on that, so you can go and watch it, and of course you'll see how we came about with that bias and with that analysis. With that said, guys, you see how beautiful it can be. We keep it simple, we don't complicate it, and that's how we do it. We made the call on Monday, it actualized on Thursday. If you loaded up enough here, trust me, this is more than enough. If you loaded up at the time price, manipulated down here, trust me guys, you will be in good profit. That's open some of our, that's almost 4-to-1 risk to reward ratio. but we're not here to talk about risk to reward ratio. So with that said, let's get to what we think price will be doing today. I've already showed you guys that our plan for this week has been played out and is complete. Left for me, I will not be trading again this week. I'll just let it be because I know I've made my my fair share of the profit for this week. I'll leave it for next week. But with that said, I'm going to analyze today's price action, and of course we start off by going to the bigger time frame. All right, we are not going to remove all the drawings we have here. I will just remove the few ones that I don't need, or let's just clean up the chart and we'll start afresh to draw out another one. Okay, so we're going to make it quick, very simple and precise and nice. So we'll kick off by going to the daily time frame just like we normally do. And of course, looking at the daily time frame, the market structure here is still bullish. We are still maintaining the status quo that it is a bullish daily time frame. Okay, so we are on the daily time frame on DXY, which is the dollar index. This is the price action I see here. All right, and considering this is a very nice bullish structure, considering the guy that brought about it from that low here. Okay, so if we pick it from this low and draw out all the swings we saw here, you'll see what we have here. All right, this is the swing we currently have, and this is at the point where price is still trading. So if I should pull this out, all right, let me pull it out so we can look at it on a skeletal view. Price came down, all right, low, higher, higher, low, higher, high. We can consider this to be a range, so I'm picking this low and this high here, and of course you can see there's a pullback in. We have a very nice W again on the upside, and I'm of the opinion that price will still continue chasing liquidity above, which means price will continue buying on the daily time frame. So the daily time frame is actually bullish, and that's how we just analyze it. Nothing more, nothing less. Okay, just keep it simple. We'll go to the 4-hour time frame. Here on the 4-hour time frame, remember guys, this is at the point where we spotted an accumulation. This was the accumulation we spotted initially, and price manipulated, and you can see how price has gone to fill it up, and now price has filled it up. I'm still of the opinion that this price is still in a bullish trend, considering what the MACD is doing. If you look at the MACD, this is a typical example of a bullish MACD. At least we are still in the early stages of this bull run. Okay, so we still have some room to cover, and I'm of the opinion the buying pressure will still continue. Okay, all right, let's step down to the 1-hour time frame. You see, I will just make it very simple, don't complicate it, very simple. Here on 1-hour time frame, it's still the same thing. Is more relaxed. We are looking at it like more zoomed in, but you can see it's pretty much looking like what we saw on the 4-hour time frame, and of course the bias and everything are still the same. Looking at the MACD, all the market condition that I see here is still a bullish trended market, so we ain't gonna make any further or anything apart from that. We call it what it is, we don't complicate it. All right, so that's for the 1-hour time frame. Now we are going to step down to the 5-minute time frame, which is our execution ground. That's where everything goes down. All right, here on the execution ground, we'll be doing this a little bit different. All right, a little bit different. So what we're going to do is that I want to get the previous day low and high. It's extremely important to the wire trade. Okay, previous day high and low, this is it here. I'm going to make this a little bit, the width a little bit smaller. Okay, I don't need this accumulation, this one here, I'll remove this. Okay, and in addition to the previous day high and low, another thing I'm seeing here is this gap. There's a gap here. Okay, there's a gap right there. That's an opening day gap. All right, an opening day gap for today. We have a small fair value gap there. So what is the plan for today? Ideally, whenever I see price trade outside of let's say previous day high or previous day low, I tend to look for a market structure change in the opposite direction. What do I mean by that? If price takes the previous day high, I'm expecting to see a market structure change that will point us back down. If price takes the previous day low, I'll do the opposite, but not all the time because their market conditions are different. And in this case, you guys can see that on the bigger time frame, the market conditions are different because they are pointing for a buy. But if we come down to the 5-minute time frame, and as we can see that price is more or less looking like it wants to give us a selling pressure, due to the fact that we have an understanding of what's happening in the higher time frame, we cannot categorically comfortably jump on a sell. It only makes sense that on the 5-minute time frame, any setup we are looking at should be tilted towards a bullish setup. Since we already have an idea of what's happening in the bigger time frame, all we just need to do is to make sure that whatever we are doing in the lower time frame or in the execution ground, as it is in this case is the 5-minute time frame, is for us to respect the bigger time frame trend and find ways to align ourselves to that trend. That's the game plan. The game plan is not for you to look at the bigger time frame, then when you come on the smaller time frame, you will now see something that is looking like a selling pressure, whereas the bigger time frame is telling you it's a buying pressure. Now you are in the lower time frame. Lower time frame is showing you setup that looks like a bearish move. Don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. Usually the trend in the bigger time frame should be what you should look at, then find ways to align yourself properly to those bigger time frame trends by paying attention to what price is doing in the lower time frame. So with this said, this is our bias for today. Our bias for today is as simple as DXY is bullish on the daily time frame, is bullish on the 4-hour time frame, is also bullish on the 1-hour time frame. So that means our bias for today has to be a bullish DXY. And how does this bullish DXY affect other market? Well, I always talk about currency correlation for every video I make. If you want to understand that, either you go do your research or let me know in the comment section, and of course I'll be making a special video for whoever that would comment, yes, I want to learn currency correlation, or yes, or I want to learn. Anyone you comment, of course I will specifically make the video for you, and that's that for that. So if you want to trade Euro USD, British Pound USD, Aussie Dollar USD, I don't have to look at their charts, but I can tell you what to expect in them. Expect them to continue selling. As DXY is buying, they would sell, and that's what it is. With it, that said, guys, I hope to see you guys in my next video. I hope you guys like, share, subscribe, because we do this every day. We do daily bias video analysis like this every day. All right, like I said, I'll see you guys in my next video. For now, gotta go. Bye.